I have two sons. Marcus is 14, Noah is 10. 3 years ago, I divorced their mother, Sandra. I thought even though we split, both boys would still get the love they deserved. But recently, something felt wrong. Noah called me one night, his voice shaking, crying softly into the phone. He said, "Dad, I miss you. Can I come stay with you?" My chest tightened. I asked him what happened, but he went quiet. I could hear Sandra calling his name in the background, then the line went dead. That night, I could not sleep. Something was very wrong with my sons, and I had no idea how bad it really was. Before we dive into what I discovered, I want to know where you are watching this from. Drop your city or country in the comments below. And if you are ready to hear how I fought to save my son from being forgotten in his own home, hit that like button and subscribe so you do not miss what happens next. Trust me, what I uncovered about my own family broke my heart in ways I never imagined. Stay with me. The divorce happened because Sandra and I saw life differently. I am a mechanical engineer at a mid-sized company. My income is stable, nothing fancy, but enough to live comfortably. Sandra always wanted more. She wanted the big house, the luxury cars, the expensive vacations. I wanted simple. I wanted stability for our kids. We fought about money constantly until we finally called it quits. The boys stayed with Sandra. I got visitation every other weekend. It hurt not seeing them every day, but I thought it was best for them to have consistency. Sandra got the house. I moved into a small apartment 20 minutes away. For the first year after the divorce, things seemed okay. The boys adjusted. Marcus was doing well in school. Noah was quieter, but he always had been. Then Sandra remarried. His name was Preston. He was a real estate developer. The guy had money. Lots of it. Big house in the suburbs, 3 cars, expensive suits. When Sandra told me she was marrying him, I felt uneasy, but I told myself maybe this was good. Maybe Preston would be a good influence. Maybe the boys would have more opportunities. For a while, it seemed fine. Marcus started talking about the new game console Preston bought him, the new basketball hoop in the driveway, the trips to fancy restaurants. I was happy, my son was happy, even if it stung a little that I could not provide those things. But Noah stopped talking much. When I picked him up on weekends, he was quiet. He would sit in the passenger seat, staring out the window. I asked him how school was. He said fine. I asked him about friends. He said fine. I asked him if he liked Preston. He just shrugged. Then came that phone call. It was a Thursday night around 9 p.m. My phone rang. Noah. I answered immediately. His voice was barely a whisper. "Dad, can I live with you? I do not want to be here anymore." My heart dropped. "What happened, buddy?" I asked. He started crying harder. "Marcus gets everything. I get nothing. Mom does not even look at me anymore." Before I could say anything else, I heard Sandra in the background. "Noah, who are you talking to?" The line went dead. I tried calling back. No answer. I tried texting. Nothing. That Saturday, I drove to pick up the boys for our weekend together. When I pulled into the driveway, Marcus opened the door. He was wearing a brand new designer shirt and a pair of sneakers I knew cost at least $200. He looked at me with this bored expression and said, "Dad, I have plans with friends. Can I skip this weekend?" I felt the frustration building, but I kept my voice calm. "We have plans, Marcus. I have not seen you in 2 weeks." He rolled his eyes. "Mom already said I could go. She is inside." I walked past him into the house. Sandra was in the kitchen scrolling through her phone. I asked her why Marcus was bailing on our weekend. She barely looked up. "He has an important basketball training session at his private club. It is a big opportunity for him. I need him there." I asked about Noah. She waved her hand dismissively. "Noah is upstairs. You can take him." I felt anger rising, but I swallowed it. I went upstairs to find Noah. The house was huge. Preston had money, and it showed. Marble floors, high ceilings, expensive art on the walls. Marcus had his room right at the top of the stairs. The door was open. I glanced inside. A king-size bed, a massive TV shelves full of new games and toys, posters of his favorite athletes. Everything a teenage boy could want. Noah's room was at the end of the hall. The door was closed. I knocked. No answer. I opened it slowly. The room was small, dark, one window with thin curtains that barely let light in. Noah was sitting on his bed wearing an old faded shirt that looked 2 sizes too big. The bed was old, the frame scratched and wobbly. There was a small desk with a few worn-out books, no decorations, no posters, nothing. Noah looked up at me, and his face lit up. "Dad." He jumped off the bed and ran to me, wrapping his arms around my waist. "I thought you forgot about me." I knelt down and held him tight. "I would never forget about you, buddy. Never." He pulled back tears in his eyes. "I tried calling you all week, but Mom would not let me. She said you were busy." I felt my blood boil. I was not busy. Sandra had been blocking him from calling me. "Why would she do that?" I asked Noah to show me his closet. He opened it. Inside were maybe 5 pieces of clothing. A couple of old shirts, 1 pair of jeans with holes in the knees, a jacket that was too small. That was it. I thought about Marcus downstairs with his brand new designer clothes, his expensive shoes. I thought about the difference between their rooms. This was not right. This was not even close to right. I took Noah's hand. "Come on, buddy. We are getting out of here." I led him downstairs. Sandra was still in the kitchen. I tried to keep my voice steady. "We need to talk." "About what?" She sighed, annoyed. "About how you are treating Noah." She looked at me like I was insane. "What are you talking about?" I told her everything. The difference in their rooms, the clothes, the fact that Noah was not allowed to call me. She crossed her arms. "You do not live here, Guy. You do not get to tell me how to raise my children." Preston walked into the kitchen at that moment, his expensive watch glinting under the lights. "Is there a problem?" I turned to him. "Yes, there is a problem. My son is being treated like he does not matter." Preston smirked. "Marcus is older. He needs more things. That is just logical." I stepped closer. "That is not logic. That is favoritism." Sandra got between us. "Enough. If you do not like how I run my house, then take me to court. Now get out." I looked at Noah, standing behind me, small and scared. I promised him silently that this was not over. I took his hand, and we left. I spent that entire weekend with Noah. We went out for pizza. We played games. I tried to make him smile, and he did, but I could see the sadness still there. On Sunday night, when I had to take him back, he clung to me. "Do I have to go back, Dad?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to keep him with me. But legally, I had no choice. Not yet. "I promise you, Noah, I am going to fix this." The next morning, I called Noah's school. I spoke with his teacher, Mrs. Patterson. I asked her how Noah was doing. There was a long pause. "Mr. Guy Wright, yes," she sighed. "Noah is a sweet boy, but he struggles. He often comes to school looking tired. His supplies are limited. A few times, he did not have lunch money. Some of the other kids have shared with him." My stomach turned. "What about Marcus?" "Oh, Marcus is doing wonderfully. He has a private tutor. He participates in every extracurricular activity. He is very well supported." I thanked her and hung up. I immediately went through my old emails. I found notifications from the school about field trips, events, activities. None of them mentioned Noah attending. I had not received these emails before because Sandra had blocked my access to the school portal. I reset my password and logged in. There it was, a year's worth of messages about Noah missing out on things. School trips he was not signed up for, activities he was not enrolled in. Meanwhile, Marcus had everything. I needed more information. I called Sandra's mother, the boy's grandmother. She lived 2 hours away and rarely visited. When she answered, I could hear the hesitation in her voice. "Guy, I do not know if I should be talking to you about this. Please," I said. "I need to know what is going on." She was quiet for a long time. Then she started talking. She told me that after Sandra married Preston, things changed. Preston had specific ideas about what kind of family he wanted. He liked Marcus because Marcus was tall, athletic, confident. He fit the image Preston wanted. But Noah was smaller, quieter, less outgoing. Preston told Sandra that Noah did not match the life they were building. He said Noah was not worth investing in. Sandra, desperate to keep Preston happy, went along with it. I felt sick. How could a mother do that to her own child? The grandmother started crying. I am so sorry, Guy. I should have said something sooner. I should have stopped her. But I was scared she would cut me off from seeing the boys. I told her it was not her fault, but inside I was furious. Furious at Sandra. Furious at Preston. Furious at myself for not seeing this sooner. A month later, Marcus turned 15. I was not invited to his birthday party, but I did not care about that. What I cared about was the phone call I got from Noah that afternoon. He was crying so hard he could barely speak. Dad, they are having a huge party for Marcus. There must be 50 people here. There is a DJ and a tent and so much food. But they told me I cannot come. They said I should stay in my room. They do not want me there. I lost it. I got in my car and drove to Sandra's house. I did not care if I was supposed to be there or not. I did not care if I was breaking any rules. My son needed me. When I got there, the party was in full swing. The backyard was filled with people lights strung up everywhere, music blaring. It looked like something out of a magazine. I walked straight into the house, ignoring the people who stared at me. I went upstairs to Noah's room. The door was closed. I opened it. Noah was sitting on his bed in the dark, looking out the window at the party below. On his desk was a single cupcake with a candle in it. I realized with a sinking heart that Noah's birthday had been last week, just 2 weeks before Marcus's, and no one had remembered. No party, no gifts, just a cupcake he probably got for himself. I walked over and sat next to him. He looked up at me, tears streaming down his face. They forgot, Dad. They forgot my birthday.